After a successful renovation, the galvanic department is now running on schedule again. The stoppage had been prepared carefully, so that fortunately the processes went off without any disturbances, facing the facts that numerous new models like the 4-part VT08 have to pass the galvanic department before being painted. A laser beam controlled by a computer is used for an optimal conducting of the processes. Therefore, defined operating programs are called.
Also, der Umbau ist fertig, wir sind in der Produktion, es läuft einwandfrei.
The renovation has been finished and we are producing again. Everything's going on as it should. Here we mostly do the phosphating of zinc die-casted products or iron articles, which are afterwards passed on to the painting department. Moreover, we execute nickel and black nickel coating, copper plating and burnishing. The cases are clipped onto these shelves, which are put into the box. The automatic cutout picks them up and transports them into the defatting machine where the surface is cleaned. Then they are passed on to the activation. There they are phosphatized and afterwards put into the drying stove. Now we want to take a closer look on these production steps. They are indicated on Saljan Chanalatin's computer monitor, who supervises them constantly. At first, a thorough cleaning is necessary to remove fat, tiny shaving of fingerprints from the surface. Now the phosphatization can be started. Controlled by a wait time diagram, the basket is now picked up and immersed in the different baths. Phosphatization is a prevalent method in the sector of surface engineering. In the phosphoric acid bath, the demanded chemical reaction is set. The watery phosphate solution reacts together with zinc and forms a zinc phosphate layer. This process happens in the Me area and cannot be seen with the naked eye. In the course of this, tiny undercuts are resulted, which are probably best compared to the superficial structure of a sponge. These ones allow an absolutely strong anchoring of the color layer during the basic coloring. The printing of the VT08 will be part of the next edition of Maerklin TV. The RE620 is the first variant of the RE66 to travel along the half-zero tracks, pulling heavy trucks which transport different freights. The locomotive's case consists of metal. The colorful printing in red and blue has come off very successfully. At the factory, steel plates and aluminum pipes have been enclosed as loads to the heavy trucks. Printing and lettering are very well done. Even the lever of the brake mechanism has been worked out colorfully. Appropriate indications on the coil transporter allow a correct loading of the tin rolls. The RE66 also offers a neat lettering. The bogies are manufactured very precisely. Square lights, UIC sockets and additional handlebars have been fit very truly to the original. Warm white LEDs illuminate the locomotive's environment. The roof is also without any flaw. All the elements were installed on the right place. An MFX decoder and a sound component can be found on board, which allow the sound of the fan and of the locomotive whistle to be called. The Swiss changing over of the lights can be switched on too. This is the prototype of our 2010 club model.
Gut, das Vorbild, was wir ausgewählt haben, ist ja letztendlich mit dem Neubau, mit dem Hochleistungskessel.
The prototype we chose was the one with the high-performance boiler. We created the undisguised locomotive, for here the entire technique is visible. This one is the last one having big, high sandboxes. Another distinctive feature of this locomotive are the inducers, which differ to the usual spoked wheels.
In der Regel hatten die Dampfloks ja Speichenräder. Das ist so ein kleines Gimmick, kleine Besonderheit bei dieser Lok, was wir da versucht haben.
If we have an eye on the tender, are there any particularities?
Gut, Tender als Besonderheit es ist ja dieser Tender mit dieser Kohlennachschubeinrichtung, wo die Klappen
The tender has a cold supply device on its disposal which can be opened and closed by certain flaps. We have reproduced them true to the original, what means they can actually be opened and closed. What we did for the first time was the detailed reproduction of the open-worked sectional frame. You can perfectly see the inner cylinder and the inner driving gear, which was reproduced without function, but which was depicted quite appealingly.
Zwar ohne Funktion nachgebildet, aber doch nachgebildet dargestellt. Ich denke, es ist sehr ansprechend dargestellt.
What about the rodding?
Gut, was wir hier neu gemacht haben, die Gegenkurbeln, also wir haben wirklich versucht, was ja immer...
One main criticism was the hexagon nut and how it could be improved optically. Therefore we used a return crank consisting of plastic and thus improved the appearance a lot.
Gegenkurbel eingesetzt und so denke ich wohl die Optik einiges verbessert.
Which engine is attached to the locomotive?
In dieser Lok haben wir einen Glockenankermotor eingesetzt. Glockenankermotoren sind ja letztendlich bekannt als sehr hochwertige Motoren.
For this locomotive, we chose a bell-shaped rotor motor. This one is known to be a high-grade motor. We wanted to reproduce a Trix and Maerklin model, and by this way we may satisfy both clients. Another novelty, a rather small detail, is the chimney, which was reproduced with the inner vent exhausting the off-steam of the alternator. I think this detail immediately attracts attention for the model railway enthusiast who mostly takes a look on his locomotive from above.
Der normale Blick ist ja letztendlich vom Modellbahner eher von oben auf die Lok. Und da wirkt sowas, denke ich mal.
Also in Göppingen, the production of this beautiful locomotive starts with the boiler. After the casting, the blanks still have to undergo a lot of precision work.
Wir können ja nicht komplett gradfrei gießen. Das heißt, wir bekommen die Teile von der Gießerei.
It is not possible to cast completely free of burrs. We receive the articles from the casting department partly with residual burr, which is removed by hand or by brushing. That means the separation burr and the burr line are trimmed. It is important that the brushing is executed in the direction of the arrows. These are indicated on this model. All the blue-colored parts need to be cleaned.
Alles, was blau gezeichnet ist, muss sauber sein.
Pilot series are produced to test the interaction of the two components. Speranza de Vivo is entrusted with this department. The pilot series contains about 50 models. At the very moment you are setting the first model of Class 0310, which is still painted green. Why this?
Das ist nur Prototypen, zu ausprobieren, ob alle Teile, wo reinkommen, auch reinpassen.
This is only the prototype, constructed to check if all additional parts can be fitted properly. Which parts have been already fitted?
Also angefangen mit den Leitungen.
It starts with the pipes, then the smokebox door, the smoke deflectors and the running board are installed. Every single part of the locomotive and even the certain tools are tested accurately. During the installation, care and the sensibility for the interaction of the single components are far more important than speed. Experiences that could be gained during the process are significant for the ensuing series montage. The laid-down standards facilitate optimal scheduled and coordinated production steps. Therefore, it is an exciting moment when it's about to check if the pipes can be installed correctly at the boiler. On a drawing containing a general survey, all the construction elements and their numbers are indicated. Although the locomotive is mostly made of metal, there are also some parts consisting of plastics, like the cabin. After the installation, the decoders are conditioned.
Also der Decoder wird programmiert, und zwar lokspezifisch. Ich nehme den Decoder, setze ihn an den Computer und dann wird es aufgeladen. Dann wird der Computer
The decoder is programmed especially for every locomotive. It is linked with the computer and charged with the demanded information. Then the computer is programmed new and the sound is added to the
Und da
decoder.
kommt direkt der Sound da drauf. Und das wird auch per Computer gemacht.
For this operation, the development department in Göppingen has constructed a special device. The noises that are typical for the locomotive are transmitted from the computer to the decoder. This process takes some minutes. It is indicated on the menu window of the computer monitor. Speranza de Vivo also appreciates the pilot series.
Und da kann man jetzt genau bei der Vorserie rauskriegen,
By installing the pilot series, we can find out if everything has been constructed well. If not, we can solve the problems here before the final production starts. That's why the pilot series are that worthy to us. Yes, the 0310 surely is a nice triplet, a model that should be part of any collection. What problem has the printing of the VT08 caused?
Wir haben beim VT08 nach Beginn
After the first delivering of the VT08, we explored that the traction unit... Yes, the devil is in the details. In the next edition of Maerklin TV, you will find out how this error has been resolved.